Right, now we're going to have a go at chopping a hinge in. As you can see, we've got different types of hinges. You've got brass hinges, aluminium hinges, stainless steel hinges. These hinges are slightly bigger. This is what you call a 4-inch butt hinge. This is a 3-inch butt hinge. The 4-inch hinges, this will be used on a fire door or an external door. As you can see, it's got bearings in the middle to be used on a fire door. So that would just be used on a really heavy door or an external door. Internal doors, basically, this is a type of hinge you'd use. So you always use a 3-inch hinge on an internal door. On an internal door, you'd always have a pair and a half of hinges, which is 3, but joiners always say a pair and a half. That's just terminology, what we use. When fitting a hinge, don't know if you can see with the camera, one side of the hinge has shoulders on it. That side has a shoulder, and basically the shoulder always goes on the door. So that side goes on the door, this side goes in the frame. So you always use this side of the hinge for marking and chopping out. So always remember, the side with the shoulders always goes on the door. So now we'll go marking the hinge out. So as you can see, he's putting the hinge on the timber, mark around it with a pencil. Then what we need to do, and he's marking down the sides a little bit for the depth. And then what we need to do is to set the marking gauge to the thickness of the hinge. And that gives us a gauge of how deep we're going to chop the hinge, the timber out for the hinge. And then mark from line to line the depth we're going to chop it out. Mark it with a pencil, and that's all the markings out, done, ready for chopping out. And then what he's going to use a 25mm bevel edge chisel, chopping in on the line on one side, do the same on the other side. Chopping on the line, and then go down the outside edge. Now what he's doing is he's turned the chisel upside down, and basically he's going to do what you call feathering. And as you can see now, as the chisel's going in, it's lifting the grain up. And as you can see, when the timber's coming out, it looks like a bird's feather. And that's why it's called feathering. And you just keep working along, chipping it down to the line with what he's putting with the marking gauge. And now, breaking all the feathers out and coming from the side, the line where he's putting with the marking gauge, the chisel should actually finish in that, fit in that line. Basically just keeping his chisel nice and level, paring it all out, and that's getting the last bit out there, and the hinge should fit into that. Into that slot now. And that's it. When the hinge goes in, it should finish flush with the top of the timber, which it is there. And that should pull down with a screw. That's fitting lovely, that's perfect. So when the door closes, you have a nice gap down the side of the door for 2mm for clearance, so it doesn't bind. Done a good job of that, well done.